made it. We've arrived. So we're gonna walk over here, see if this is a place to get a ticket. You love these old banyan trees here. Say something. Well, this is a ticket office and kind of a souvenir shop in there. You can also buy flowers here from their garden. When you buy your tickets, you also have an entrance to the museum, 15,000 square feet, dedicated to Ford and Thomas Edison. Shows you some of the models, car models that Ford had in his engine, the flathead V8. Also shows Edison's, some of his workshop, but mostly some of the inventions and innovations that Edison made and contributed to are all laid out in displays. There are several ways to buy tickets. You can buy tickets, you kind of freelance, you just go along and do your own tour. And then there's one with the guided tours that run several times during the day, and these will take you into the houses and some of the places you can't see on your own. The other thing you can do is download an app, and you can have a tour on your phone that you can listen to as you go around the property at your own pace. Again, no, you cannot get in to any of the buildings, but I'll be honest with you, you can see most of what you need to see from the outside. They have viewing windows around the house that you can see almost everything on the ground floors. You're not going to get upstairs, of course, but on the ground floors you will see everything. And see here some of Edison's inventions or projects. He and a partner worked on the movie projectors, cameras. How about this? A 75,000 watt light bulb. Not bad. I have not failed. I have found 10,000 ways to work that don't work. That's a great quote by Edison. It's a picture of his wife painting. Beautiful painting. This is a model, a replica model of his workshop here in Florida. One of the main projects here was the development, trying to develop rubber. Over 10,000 different plants were tried. They wanted to be able to produce rubber, or facsimile to rubber, here in the United States, and wouldn't have the need to buy from overseas, or at least a lesser need. They finally settled on the goldenrod plant. This is Edison's office at the workshop. And in the gardens there's a sculpture of his wife. Well, here's one of the houses. I'm not sure, standing here, which house I'm looking at. So we might have to look into that. But this is called a Walk of Friendship. Right here. This walk here. And this walk that I'm standing on. Henry Ford Thomas Edison, and Mr. Firestone were all friends, good friends. Ford and Edison built their estates next to each other, and Firestone would come to visit. So we're going to find out which house is which, and we'll move on. This is the Winter Estates, and that right there is Edison's boating dock. I'm surprised that they've kind of let that deteriorate and haven't rebuilt that. The Edison's estate's 20 acres right downtown Fort Myer. The Edison came to Fort Myer in 1883, and he bought 13 acres of land on the Collahatchie River. He came back in 1886 with his new bride, Minnie Miller Edison. The two enjoyed 60 years here in Fort Myer. In 1947, Minnie deeded the estate to the city of Fort Myer in 1947, including all the furnishings of the house and all the furnishings of the guest house. The original design of the main house, including a kitchen and dining room. In 1906, the Edisons remodeled these rooms to serve as the family bedroom suites. Since the newly remodeled guest house had a kitchen, the main house included a library, study, bedrooms, and Edison's den. Originally, the guest house was owned by a business partner of Thomas Edison. When their relationship ended, the house was purchased by new owners. In 1906, the Edison family bought the home and began using it as a guest house. Famous guests included Henry Ford, Harvey Firestone, President-elect Herbert Hoover, and many others. The guest house included a sitting room, dining room, kitchen, guest bedrooms, and quarters for serving staff. As you can see, you do get a very good look through these viewing windows. And get to see most of the house downstairs levels. I love the porches. They're not only three-sided to the house, on three sides, but look at the width of those porches. This would be the front of that view from the front of the houses. You can see the water and the paved walkway. Again, look at the width of that porch. This is his study in the main house. And this would be the master bedroom, including a bath. You'll notice this house has a wing to it. And if you're facing the house from the water, looking at the front of the house, this wing is on the left side of the house. You can see a walkway upstairs, second floor, and of course a walkway to the first floor of the wing. There's also a stairs. Now the other side of the house here has like a lattice walkway to the guest house. Well, this is the Edison guest house. And it sits right next door. It's connected to the Edison house. He bought this from a friend that owned it. And I'll tell you a little bit about that as we go along. Now, interesting, you see this house built almost on the identical plan as Edison's house. But the guest house, when you're looking from the front of the house, the wing is to the right, where on Edison's house, it's to the left. When you consider that all this furnishings was original, these were the furnishings that were in these homes when they were deeded to Fort Myer. Now, in the wing of this house is where the kitchen is located downstairs. I would assume when the Edisons took their meals, they just walked over to the guest house and to the dining room and partake of their meal. Now, this is the back of the house looking towards the street. And again, a three-sided porch that wraps around the building. Just huge. Love these wide porches. There's that walkway over to the Edison home. And again, the huge porch. See the upstairs, which we were not allowed to go to. And the over here is the upstairs is bedrooms, some bedrooms down here, and kitchen and so forth. And now we're going to head over to the Ford house, Henry Ford. So let's go ahead and take a look at Mr. Ford, see where he lived and what's going on there. In 1914, Henry and Clara Ford, along with their son Edsel, visited Fort Myers at the invitation of Thomas Edison. They enjoyed the visit so much that 2 years later, Ford purchased the home adjacent to the Edison Winter estate. The two-story riverfront home was built in the Craftsman architectural style. The Fords sold the Magnolia in 1945 to a private family, who then sold the estate to the city of Fort Myer in the late 1980s. The Ford Winter Estate was opened to the public in 1990. As you can see, it's a beautiful piece of property. This home also had a wing to it. Actually, it had two wings, one on either side. Again, all the furnishings, original furnishings, were also sold in the deal with Fort Myer. So what you're looking at is all original. kitchen is in one of the wings, away from the main house. And on the other wing is a bedrooms, as well as upstairs. This room in the other wing is called the secretary's bedroom because the secretary slept here. Amazing, isn't it? Apple a day. This is looking to the back of the house. And here's the front of the house. And you can see the Edison guest house and the Edison home. Right next door. Looks like the Fords were expecting company. This is the Ford caretaker's cottage. It was originally a garage and caretaker's residence. Today, visitors can enjoy light refreshment, including locally made ice cream, and purchase unique books and gifts in the historic Ford's cottage shop. Interesting. Looks like we've been from one end to the other. This tree is not a banyan tree, by the way. It's a certain kind of fig tree. You look out there in the distance, see Ford's house, Edison's guest house, and a little bit of Edison's house. So we're going to be heading that way now. View of Fort Myer from the front of the property. We're going to stroll down this walkway along the water's edge. And when you're tired, you rest. This is the pier where the boat was docked. And like I said, I'm a little surprised they haven't remodeled that. And I have no idea what this guy was doing. If he was laying an egg or just resting. This path goes down to the pool area. Edison designed his pool. Still very functional today. Behind that pool is a big concrete building where all the water is stored, recirculated. Edison's work study. I assume he probably built this to get away from everybody. Here he was able to work and think, read. Well, that's the Edison Ford Estates here in Fort Myers. As good as I remembered, maybe even better. Really got here early. They opened at 9, I got here at 9. And it is now 11 o'clock and they are hopping. Couldn't have shot this if I'd have got here at 11 o'clock. So if you're gonna come, my advice, get here early or maybe get here late, but don't get here midday. Worth a visit? Absolutely. Don't miss it. By the way, get it clear, Harvey Firestone, his summer or winter place was in Miami. He came up here to visit. Got that straightened out. Good. Okay. Down the road we go.